In this video, we'll cover some of the many reasons why you should be using webinars in your business, and how our system of doing webinars provides you with an efficient, inexpensive, and easy to implement way of presenting webinars to your patients or staff. And as you think about this, you'll be able to come up with other unique ways to benefit your business. Webinars establish the expertise of the presenter. Two things give listeners the impression of authority: speaking well from the platform and speaking on TV or video. Most patients don't read medical journals, but they are likely to watch a video or webinar about a medical condition that concerns them. And the person they first encounter who presents well on the subject is most likely to be considered the expert in the field by the listener. Webinars give you wider exposure. You'll reach people who can't attend a live seminar because of their schedule or even medical condition. And you'll better reach those who would never attend a live seminar because of embarrassment. In addition, as the webinar is repeated, people who never noticed previous showings will eventually become aware of them. You get contact information for follow-up marketing. When someone registers for a webinar, you can ask for the same information you now get during live seminar registration. Plus, you're more likely to get email and cell phone information from a registrant in a webinar than you are for a live seminar. Webinars save both the presenter and the patient's time. The presenter only needs to give the presentation once, and it can be used repeatedly. The patients can watch in the convenience of their own home, at a coffee shop on their laptop, or anywhere on their smartphone. The reach is incredible. You can use webinars for staff training or briefings. This is especially useful for companies with a training department, but it also comes in handy for professionals who conduct training, as well as small businesses that can't easily spare employees to do on-the-job training for new employees. Now let's mention some more benefits. A trainer only has to cover a subject once, as long as the topic is current, and he or she can perfect his presentation before it gets recorded. The beauty of a webinar is that it can be scheduled whenever you want, and once it's recorded, it's available when you want it. You can repeat it at intervals as long as it's relevant. Webinars keep quality and content of training consistent because everybody gets the same presentation. The same content is given to everyone, the same presentation quality, and with the same emphasis. When people are trained the same, the procedures they perform and the systems they operate are more likely to produce consistent results across the board and are less dependent on who performed them. Being able to make simultaneous announcements at all your locations means there is consistency in the message you transmit to your organization, and there is much less chance of distortion due to second and third-hand narration. Webinars work well with different shifts. Make sure that your message is transmitted with the same content, the same tone, and the same enthusiasm, regardless when your people hear it. You can use webinars to keep your vendors informed too. You can't be sure what your employees are telling your vendors, but you can make sure that your vendors get accurate information from the source. Now let's mention some advantages of our system of running webinars. Our webinars are hosted off-site, so you don't have to tie up your IT resources. Keep your IT people working on maintaining and improving your system. Don't get them tied down doing things that could easily and less expensively be handled by outside resources. It's easy to implement and use. Even if you handle all the work yourself, we help you set up your first webinar or two, and you have access to training videos too. You have a totally flexible system at your fingertips. We'll help you do a single webinar if that's all you ever want to do. Or you can do a whole series of webinars. even simultaneously, if that's what your schedule demands. And we can help you do any or all of the recordings of the webinars, the editing, the uploading, the setup, the scheduling, the database management, or follow-up marketing. And speaking of follow-up marketing, that's one of the strong points of our system. You can keep in touch with prospective and existing patients by a variety of media at various intervals. It's also a good way to send reminders to the registrants before the webinar begins. Databases can be segmented and send different messages to different target audiences. And yet, this system is easy to operate and inexpensive, especially compared to the value it brings. To get more information or to get answers to any questions you may have, call us at 815-434-4322. And don't forget to ask us about doing a free demonstration for you. Just call us today at 815-434-4322.